the fly version today, hoping that some of you can join in as the program goes on. A lot to talk about today, a lot to unpack in terms of financial topics that are affecting people's credit, and some of the things that people have to think about if they're in trouble with paying their credit account. So if you're having trouble paying your debt, if you're being hounded by debt collectors, if you're struggling to find ways to get approved for financing, I mean, there are a lot of questions that have come in. We're going to answer those today. And we're going to talk about how you can deal with debt collectors, how you can work around some of the challenges that are getting in the way of getting approved for credit. Just as a little bit of context, I used to be a debt collector, and I also used to be a lender. I used to work on the underwriting side. So hopefully my own experience in as a debt collector and as a lender can help you through some of these challenges. And we've got some questions that we're going to answer, questions that have come in about some of those things. So just want to make sure that we answer all your questions as you're watching as well. So as we answer questions today about what matters when you're submitting an application for a loan or line of credit, when we're answering questions about wage garnishment and being taken to court for money that you owe, when we're answering questions about whether or not debt collectors can charge interest and fees on debts that they're collecting. Those are, while we're answering those questions, if you have other questions about personal finance, about balancing your budget, you can certainly enter those in the chat below the video feed. And of course, we also want you to subscribe or like if you like what you're seeing and you're hearing. And again, I mentioned I'm Bruce McClary. I'm with the NFCC, and I am flying solo today, so my usual host, Courtney, is not here. But we've got a ton of your questions that we're going to answer, and I want to make sure I start getting to those right away. And it's a difficult time. People are struggling, and I think a lot of people who are struggling are thinking about borrowing money to fill the gap. So if you've got savings and you've run out of savings, if you're dealing with some of the benefits from the initial stimulus package that might have termed out, and maybe you were benefiting from that additional $600 a week for unemployment, now you're not. So you've had to make some tough decisions. Maybe you're getting to the end of the road of your savings. So you may be thinking about borrowing money to fill the gap where savings has gone away. If you are, maybe you're approaching a lender with a damaged credit score. Well, the first question you need to be asking is what matters more to a lender, if anything, than your credit score. Everybody focuses a lot on credit scores, and they think, well, if I get my credit score up, that's going to get me in the door and I'm going to get approved. A high credit score is not a guarantee for loan approval. It's not a guarantee for getting a line of credit. And it's not a guarantee for getting exactly what you're asking for. So there are other things that matter to lenders besides your credit score. So the credit score is not the end all be all, despite what you hear in marketing and media about how it's important to get a perfect credit score and use these tools and monitor your credit score and constantly check it. That's good, and it's a worthwhile goal to try to bring your credit score up, but it's not the only thing lenders are looking at. So a lender is going to approve you on a number of things. They're going to approve you based on your capacity to pay the loan or to manage the line of credit. So if you don't have enough income, if you're borrowing money and you're taking out a loan application, if you don't have enough income to support the monthly payment or to show that you can afford to manage that debt, that can be a deal breaker. If you can't verify the income that you are making, if you don't have the proper documentation or the pay stubs or the tax records to show that you in fact are making the income that you're writing down on the loan application, that can be a deal breaker. So there are many other things that lenders are looking at when they make that decision about whether or not they're going to extend a line of credit